Justice is investigating the city of Chicago's hiring practices after statements made by Mayor Brandon Johnson at a Woodlawn church over the weekend. Here are some of the mayor's comments that caught the attention of the DOJ.
Business and Economic Neighborhood Development, the deputy mayor, is a Black woman. Department of Planning and Development, it's a Black woman. Infrastructure, deputy mayor, is a Black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a Black man. Budget director is a Black woman. Senior advisor is a Black man.
Today, in a letter to Mayor Johnson's office, the Department of Justice cited those comments as the reason that they're opening a civil rights investigation into whether the city of Chicago made hiring decisions based on race. In the letter, the Assistant Attorney General with the Civil Rights Division writes, in part, if these kind of hiring decisions are being made for top-level positions in your administration, then it begs the question whether such decisions are also being made for lower-level positions. Mayor Brandon Johnson's office tonight did send a statement to NBC5 News saying this: the mayor is proud to have the most diverse administration in the history of our city. Our administration reflects the diversity and values of Chicago. Unfortunately, the current federal administration does not reflect either. The mayor's office went on to say that they are aware of DOJ's letter, but are waiting for the official receipt, and the Corporation Counsel will review it at that time.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? It's Tyler from Nopickspodcast.
What up, fam? Joe, Nopickspodcast.
All right, Joe, so let me ask you. All right, so do you think race should be used to hire Black people?
I don't think, no, I don't. And I don't because I would much rather someone who's qualified take the job no matter what their color is. I don't care if it's an Indian man. I don't care if it's an Indian woman. I don't care if it's a Jamaican man. I don't care if it's, an Asian woman. If that person is qualified and can do the job, that is a person I want to have the job.
Right.
So that's my short answer. So I'm going to say no, and that's why.
Yeah.
How about you? I feel like I already know where you at with this, bro.
You already know. Like, listen, like I always thought this this argument was ridiculous from the start, right? Because, all right, so anybody who believes that you should hire people based off some kind of quota, right? Because Brandon Johnson is clearly hiring people based off, he's like, I'm Black, so I'm about to hire all these Black people, right?
Right.
Cool. But, like, let's say if you need, so say, Joe, so you are a rich man, you're worth millions of dollars. You need heart surgery, right? Triple bypass, some complicated shit, right? And so would you, Joe, hire the best Black person, right? That's ranked, let's say, however they use their rankings in the medical system, in the medical field, right? He's ranked, 230th on the heart, surgery scale out of 10,000 people, right? Or if you had the money, would you hire Yam Kim, who's an Asian female doctor that or no, you know what? I'm gonna make it Black versus white. He's a white male doctor who his name is Sam Jones, and he's the ranked #1 heart surgeon in the fucking world. And you have the money to get either one. Which one are you gonna get?
I'm gonna go for the person who's most qualified.
That's why the whole race quota shit is ridiculous, because when the rubber meets the road, you're gonna choose the best person for the job, right? So even let's just say me as a Black man, I have my own company, and let's just say I hate white men, but I need an accountant, and there's this accountant available that's a white dude that's the best. I feel like I would be silly to not hire the white dude, even if I hate his guts, because that would be best for my company.
Right.
Even though it doesn't make any sense to base these decisions off race. So Brandon Johnson thinks that he's scoring points, like, oh well, I got all these Black people, but if these Black people, like, if you're touting their Blackness as a criteria for them to get the job, why aren't you touting their credentials?
Right. No, I agree. I agree. I think the only time it should really matter is if so. For it's usually black and white, right? So let's say
Right.
there's a black candidate and a white candidate, right? The only time race should be a factor is if they are both equally qualified. If they're both equally qualified, I'm probably going to go for the black person, right? Simply because there is strength in diversity, right? So even if they're the same on paper, the fact that we have now I can pick someone who's just as qualified, but is black is going to add diversity and there's strength in that, right? So if I already have a bunch of white people in this field in a community, I'd want to add a person of color in that community.
Right.
But he has to meet the criteria first before I come to that decision. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm going to pick him just because he's black. What I'm saying is he's just as qualified as Sam, but I'm going to pick, Jamal or Kyle because there's strength in diversity. And that for me would be a determining factor. I don't know if you agree with that, but
No, I agree.
you know what I mean? Yeah, when it comes to like that, that's when I'm okay with being like, you know what? They're both equal, but like we do need some more diversity because there are some people who'd rather have a doctor who looks like them.
Right.
Or we just there's more strength in having diversity in our medical field. So I'm going to go for this guy.
Right.
But you have to meet the criteria first. That is the standard. There's a standard you have to meet. Once you meet that standard, then we can deviate. But when the standard becomes, are you melanated or not? That's when the quality starts going down, in my opinion.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then you're not considering the people who aren't melanated. Although if they could be better qualified,
right?
And Brandon Johnson can say this shit because the city of Chicago isn't his own, like, his own business, right? Like he's gonna be out of here in a couple of years because he's not getting reelected. Nigga got like a 6% approval rating, right? So he's just gaining black points right now because he'll probably be like a prominent figure in a black church and probably have a church. You know what I mean? After he's all done and all that shit, because he's not getting reelected. So
right.
He's doing this for his own personal, gain because he lost a lot with the whole immigration shit. But if it's your own business, like, I'm hiring the absolute best person, right? If I got a business full of fucking Chinese illegal immigrants, I'm gonna do that shit because it's best for me. I'm gonna make the most money.
That's where we disagree.
I'm gonna make the most money because it's best for me in my business.
Yeah, but America first, damn it. You ain't gonna take me off my America first. Americans first. Those jobs should go to American people first who are qualified. Then we can start exporting them. But I'd rather those jobs go to Americans. Right. That's me. America first.
I feel you.
You ain't gonna take me off that box. Us first, goddammit.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm saying if it's me, listen, I need my chips with dip. You know
I know you, bro. Ty would listen. If Ty would automate your job away if he couldn't heartbeat. If he's like, if I could pay a robot to do all y'all jobs, a robot gonna have all y'all jobs, bro. That's Ty.
But Joe, if you could hire people based off race, where should the line end? Where you feel what I'm saying? So let's say you got Brandon Johnson in Chicago, and you got the dude. Let's say you got Governor J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. If he start hiring all these white people because he like, okay, well, I'm going to rock out for the white people. Obviously, he's a Democrat. He would never do that shit. But, let's just say he's like, you know what? I'm white people all day till they bury me. Like, how is that different than what Brandon Johnson's doing? Like, we're going to look at J.B. Pritzker like, yo, you're a scumbag, you son of a bitch, you fat scumbag. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But Brandon Johnson gets to be like the martyr. Like, oh, you're killing it for the culture. You're crushing it.
Yeah. No. I definitely understand what you're trying to say, and I can see that, right? I feel like some of the problem we have is that we forget that white people are still the majority in this country, right? We still got a few years until like Latinos become the majority, but for the longest time, white people have been over half of this country. Right. So just in the numbers game alone, you're more than likely going to be able to employ a white person. You're going to see a white person in that position. You're going to see a white person as you're walking around. Like when we think about like the breakdown of where black people are, have you ever seen a map of where all the black people in America are? No, bro, there's only like if you've seen a map of where all the black people are in America, bro, they're like on all the coastal cities, maybe a little bit like in the middle, like in the Virginia or something like that. But bro, we're literally like in like a few amount of places, and then everywhere in the middle and the top, there's none of us there. We don't go out there. So like we're only in a small portion of the country. So chances are there's going to be significantly more white people than there are of black people. You know what I mean? So like sometimes it's not even about race. It's just a numbers game. It's like there's just more of them than there are. Right. You know what I mean? Even if we think about the dating market, whereas if you're a black man, it's like, yeah, we want to have a black wife if you want one. But damn, if it ain't working out, statistically, at some point you're gonna cross a snow bunny. There's so many of them out there, bro. It's just a numbers game. There's too many of them out there. They everywhere. Now they eating oatmeal and grits and they thick. So like the game done changed, bro. Like it's just a numbers game, bro. Eventually you're gonna bump into a white jaw. It's like that, bro. It's just there's more of them than there are of us, bro.
What I'm hearing you say is that you and I, we should just go to the middle of the country, and we'll probably get like the most sexual access we ever had in our life, because we're gonna be like they gonna be lions, we're gonna be the gazelles. They just gonna be eating everything. We like, you mean like we gotta listen. Let's quit our jobs in a couple years. Let's quit our jobs. Go to the Midwest, Nebraska, some shit, right? Like,
stay away from the sundown towns. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be dragged in the back of a pickup truck. But as long as you avoid dumb places, you're gonna be killing it, bro. You're gonna be killing it, bro.
I'm like, time out, bro.
Nah, bro. No, but that's real though, bro. We forget that there's also a numbers game. Remember when we had that? Remember when they got rid of a gifted program because they were saying there were more white people in their programs. In Seattle, they got rid of the gifted society because they were saying there's too many white people represented here, not enough minority representation. And it's like, so you guys are going to get rid of a resource for students who are performing exceptionally well than their peers simply because there's not enough diversity. But it's like, are there enough students? Well, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's a numbers game. There are more white people in Seattle than there are of any other race, bro. You know what I mean? When I think of Seattle, I think about white people. Like the first person that comes to mind is a white person. Yeah. So it's just a numbers game. There's more of them proportionally there's more of them than there are of us. Yeah. So I could see more white people in the gifted program. It's not a racist thing. It's just a numbers game. But they got rid of that because they was mad. You know what I mean? Like racism is so stupid, bro, the way it works on both ends of the spectrum. Yeah. But no, bro, I'm sorry. We went on a tangent, but like I think that your criteria should come first, like your qualifications, your credentials. Then all things being equal, we can be like, all right, let's get some diversity if we can. But if not, I'm going for the number one choice. Yeah. That's it.
Listen, 100% agree. Listen, I guess the family might be confused, but him and I didn't go at it this time. It is what it is, right? Like, listen, let us know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.
Until next time.